one thing that startups are doing wrong.
I think just relying on getting external funding to sustain your business.
Fundraising तो आजकल cool हुआ है with Shark Tank.
अगर सुनामी भी आती है तो only those businesses which are inherently profitable can stand on their own and they don't need external capital.
Off business आपका business है, you have taken it to $5 billion valuation. उस टाइम सोचा था कि हम इसको यूनिकॉर्न तक लेके जाएंगे.
उस टाइम तो हमें यूनिकॉर्न का शायद मतलब भी नहीं पता था. हमें तो बस रियल धंधा बनाना था. रियल एस्टेट प्लेयर्स के साथ काफी ज्यादा बैठे हम.
आपको लगता है इंडिया अब compete कर पाएगा चाइना के साथ?
I think it'll take about another.
Hi, and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Better Podcast. आज के हमारे गेस्ट बहुत अमेजिंग हैं. इनका नाम है मिस्टर नितिन जैन, जो कि को फाउंडर हैं ऑफ अ यूनिकॉर्न कंपनी जिन्होंने गुड़गांव से स्टार्ट किया. कंपनी का नाम है ऑफ बिजनेस. इन्होंने मल्टीपल बिजनेसेस क्रिएट किए हैं फ्रॉम स्क्रैच टू $100 मिलियन रेवेन्यू, और इनको मल्टीपल अवार्ड्स भी मिले हैं जैसे कि फोर्ब्स बिजनेस टाइकून ऑफ द ईयर. तो आज का एपिसोड बहुत अमेजिंग जाने वाला है, तो लेट्स स्टार्ट. नितिन जी, वेलकम टू माय पॉडकास्ट. आई एम सुपर एक्साइटेड.
No, I'm very, very glad and thank you so much for inviting me to the family of Real Better to see. I love seeing your team and meeting your team. I think आपका बहुत अच्छा ऑफिस का वाइब है जो बहुत पसंद आया. काफ़ी एनर्जेटिक लोग थे. तो थैंक यू सो मच. माय प्रिविलेज इज ऑल माइन. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर हैविंग मी हियर.
बिल्कुल नहीं नितिन जी, आप बहुत ज़्यादा हम्बल हो. मैंने लास्ट टाइम जब आपको देखा था तब आप आईआईटी में टॉक दे रहे थे. आप स्टेज पे थे, मैं नीचे बैठा था ऑडियंस में. तब से मेरे को था कि नितिन जी, आपने इतनी बड़ी कंपनी बनाई है गुड़गांव में रह के. एंड आई वुड से यू स्टार्टेड एज अ प्रॉपटेक ओनली. जो ऑफ बिजनेस आपका बिजनेस है वो काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टेड इन द प्रॉपटेक.
I would not say prop tech, but I would say in the construction space.
हाँ जी.
जहाँ पे हम कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल सप्लाई करते थे टू कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स.
हाँ जी.
तो हमने स्टार्ट रियल एस्टेट प्लस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से किया था. फिर हमने कहा कि रियल एस्टेट डीमोनेटाइजेशन के बाद हमने थोड़ा सा बैक सीट लिया.
अच्छा.
और हमने कहा कि सिर्फ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल सप्लाई करेंगे. दैट्स व्हाट वी स्टार्टेड ऑफ एज. आई वुड नॉट से इट्स अ प्रॉप टेक स्पेस, बट मटेरियल्स हमें, हमारा ये एम था कि लोअर कैसे करें हम मटेरियल प्राइसेस, उसको ट्रांसपेरेंट कैसे करें फॉर द कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स.
नहीं, बिल्कुल ठीक है सर. B2B बिजनेस आपने बिल्ड किया है और आज यू हैव टेकन इट टू, आई वुड से, $5 बिलियन वैल्यूएशन. इट्स अ ह्यूज अचीवमेंट. एंड गुड़गांव में, क्योंकि हम आपकी जर्नी काफ़ी टाइम से देख रहे हैं, एंड प्रॉपटेक साइड पे किसी ने भी अपना बिजनेस ग्रो नहीं कर पाए, बट यू स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम देयर लाइक यू सेड.
Yeah, in the construction material space, then we started adding verticals. So yeah.
कैसे सोचा कि हम ऑफ बिजनेस बनाते हैं? क्या आइडिया था? क्या उस समय टीम आपको मिली साथ में?
So हम 5 लोग थे जो साथ में आके हमने सोचा कि कुछ बनाना है B2B स्पेस के अंदर.
ओके.
अब हमें कुछ आइडिया नहीं था. हमने कहा कि फील्ड पे उतरेंगे तो हमें समझ आएगा कि क्या बनाना है, कैसे बनाना है. So all of us spent enormous amount of time on the field, and
अच्छा.
all of us came with a very different skill set. So I came with a very aggressive skill set of scaling up. Other people came with a skill set of profit management, control management, ops, as well as tech. So these were the 5 founders. All of us had very complementary skill set, I would say.
Excellent.
And then we used to spend a lot of time on the field just listening to potential clients.
अच्छा.
हमें पता भी नहीं था वो क्लाइंट्स होंगे कि नहीं होंगे, बट हमें सीखना था बस. तो हमें स्टील का धंधा समझ आया, ट्रेडिंग कैसे होती है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कैसे होती है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स कैसे होते हैं, आगे वाला इंसान क्या सोच के खरीदता है, कैसे पे करता है. तो हमें पूरा मार्केट और सप्लाई चेन समझा फ्रॉम स्क्रैच, फ्रॉम फैक्ट्री टू, आई वुड से, टू द कंस्ट्रक्शन साइड. सो वी यूज्ड टू स्पीक टू मेसन्स, वी यूज्ड टू स्पीक टू फैक्ट्री इंचार्ज, वी यूज्ड टू स्पीक टू CEOs, MDs. सो लाला से काफ़ी सारा सीखने को मिला हमें. रियल एस्टेट प्लेयर्स के साथ काफ़ी ज़्यादा बैठे हम. प्रेस्टीज के साथ, ब्रिगेड के साथ, ओब्रॉय रियल्टी, DLF, इनसे काफ़ी कुछ सीखने को मिला. एंड देन वी स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम विद इंडिविजुअल बिल्डर्स जो 10-15 फ्लैट बना रहे हैं एक बिल्डिंग के अंदर. तो उनसे सीखने को मिला. एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स के पास काफ़ी ज़्यादा टाइम स्पेंड किया. तो बस यही था. तो इससे हमें काफ़ी आई वुड से इंस्पिरेशन भी मिली और इनसाइट्स भी मिली. आई थिंक दैट इज़ वेरी की टू बिल्डिंग अ बिजनेस. इनसाइट्स आपके पास होनी चाहिए, एंड दोज इनसाइट्स should translate into reality.
I agree.
So you can't just sit in a conference room and then do whiteboarding कि ऐसे बनाते हैं ऐसे बनाते हैं धंधा या फिर business and then go about it. I think it doesn't work. Business is only built by spending time in the field with potential clients, with potential suppliers, buyers, other people.
बड़ा बिजनेस तभी बनता है जब आप कोई बड़ी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो,
बड़ी प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व करो और इनसाइट्स लेके आओ मार्केट के अंदर से. इनसाइट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जो दूसरों के पास नहीं है, या गैप तो बात करने से ही निकलता है. मार्केट में गैप क्या है, रियल गैप क्या है.
उस टाइम सोचा था कि हम इसको यूनिकॉर्न तक लेके जाएंगे.
उस टाइम तो हमें यूनिकॉर्न का शायद मतलब भी नहीं पता था. Honestly speaking,
which year was this?
I think this was 2015 September, so I don't think there was any unicorn.
अच्छा.
एक या दो unicorn होंगे, maybe Flipkart was a unicorn, I would say. Who else? I don't think there were any other unicorns. अच्छा. Zomato was just about doing well, so I don't think it had turned unicorn. तो हमें unicorn का मतलब भी नहीं पता था उस टाइम पे.
Paytm भी अभी चल ही रहा था, struggle ही कर रहा था.
Paytm चल रहा था. I think they started in 2011-12, I believe. तो उनको 3 साल हुए थे. There was IndiaMart, there was Tolexo, there was Industry Buying. Those were the startups that were there. But honestly, हमने valuation कभी सोचा ही नहीं था दिमाग में कि कितनी valuation होगी. हमें तो बस real धंधा बनाना था, real business बनाना था, which would generate cash flow and profits, and so that we generate real value for our shareholders. And that was the main idea.
And I think उस time fundraising भी बहुत ज़्यादा difficult नहीं था आज के मुकाबले में. Would you say that?
So see, I think fundraising for the right people and the right team is not as difficult as it seems, right?
Okay.
So there are cycles. Now there are cycles where average businesses would also get funded very heavily. There would be businesses that have no plan would also get funded. Businesses that have a solid plan may not get funded.
Okay.
Right. So there are cycles, and you just have to adapt very quickly to the cycles. And you need to have a very different mindset. So I would not say even this environment is difficult to raise funding. I would not say that this environment is great for raising funding. Even that environment was not great or difficult. It's just cycles, right? So there came a time when everyone was getting funded left, right, and center. Valuations were sky high, so around the 2020, 2021 mark. But then people adapted very quickly to every changing environment. Right? Right now also, we know which businesses will get funded, who will attract investors, and what the market wants. So it's more about, can you stay away from that and build a strong business with profits as the real metric and not any other vanity metric. Profits and cash flow is king ultimately.
But right? ये so, थोड़ा सा I would say counter intuitive है. बहुत सारी जो हम बातें सुनते हैं, लोग B2C बिजनेस बनाना चाहते हैं, आपने B2B चूज किया, और बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स जो है पैसा बर्न करके ग्रोथ पे फोकस करते हैं, आपने प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पे फोकस किया. तो आई थिंक बहुत डिफरेंट माइंडसेट से आप लोग चले.
100%. I think the mindset needed was very different at that point of time. हमें actually burn वाला mindset नहीं समझ आता था, although there have been great businesses that have been built using that mindset. Even Amazon was built using that mindset that grew very quickly. I think they turned the first profit in 2016 or 17. If I'm not wrong.
इतने सालों में.
Yeah. So Amazon started around the 96-97 era. They turned a profit in 2017, first profit. So, and they went public early 2000s. So they took a long time. And that is one way to go about it. But then obviously there's a probability of failure as well that increases. Right? So when you burn money. But for us, it was very clear that we will sacrifice growth over profits. So that was very clear for us. And then we will concentrate on profitability because ultimately, in stormy weather, and I would say, agar tsunami bhi aati hai, so only those businesses which are inherently profitable can stand on their own and they don't need external capital.
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
When there is a quote unquote funding winter. So then what do you do? कोई आपको फंड करने को तैयार ही नहीं है, कोई भी बिजनेस को कोई भी फंड करने को तैयार नहीं है, then what do you do? Right? So then only businesses which have their own standing, investors would be attracted towards those businesses. So I think that's the view that we took from day one.
बट होता क्या है ना, B2B बिजनेस मैंने देखा है कि सेक्सी नहीं होता. B2B बिजनेस बहुत ज़्यादा फैंसी नहीं होता. आज भी आई वुड से प्रॉबेबली बहुत सारे लोग नहीं जानते होंगे ऑफ बिजनेस के बारे में कि ऑफ बिजनेस कितना बड़ा यूनिकॉर्न है और प्रॉफिटेबली कैसे ग्रो किया है आपने.
हाँ जी, I mean we wanted to always stay behind the radar.
अच्छा
आई वुड से अंडर द रेडर आई वुड से एंड हमें वही मीडिया अटेंशन वगैरह ज़्यादा पसंद नहीं थी, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी नॉट देयर इन द मीडिया. यू वुडंट सी लार्ज एड्स फॉर अस, you wouldn't see a lot of PR, marketing, and so on and so forth, because we believe that B2B businesses are built by doing hard work,
अच्छा
by going and meeting clients, and by understanding the supply chain and staying behind the scenes, right? So you don't want to be ahead, or you don't want to be out there, because that's not how real businesses, B2B businesses would be built, right? You can always do a lot of marketing, get clients, but what if the marketing stops? Then the clientele would also stop coming. I mean, that was our belief. There may be other schools of thought, but that's something that worked for us. So we had a sales team, and then we used to capture the client's attention in other innovative ways. So that's how we've sustained, and we have sort of grown profitably.
तो इंडिया के अंदर अभी गोइंग फॉरवर्ड आपको क्या लग रहा है? अभी तो हर कोई D2C बिजनेस बनाने पे लगा हुआ है, आपको लग रहा है B2B में अभी बहुत स्कोप है?
I actually don't think कि सब B2C बिजनेस बनाने में लगे हुए हैं, बिकॉज B2C बिजनेस इसलिए हाईलाइट में आता है क्योंकि उसकी मार्केटिंग होती है.
बहुत ज्यादा.
अब मार्केटिंग होती है, आप IPL में जाओगे, आप IPL में सबके वो देखोगे, आप स्टिकर्स तो सारे आपको नॉर्मली D2C या B2C ब्रांड्स ही देखेंगे.
बिल्कुल.
However, B2B businesses, because of the manufacturing push and because of this Atmanirbhar push,
Yeah.
I think a lot of manufacturing is growing in India. I think India is becoming the next manufacturing hub. Because China, Vietnam, Indonesia, etc. were there, but I think India is becoming a very, very strong contender to be the next manufacturing superpower after China.
Really?
Yeah. So we've seen a lot of manufacturing move to India. So I think this is our decade and our opportunity to grab, and that's where a lot of B2B businesses will get built. And B2B businesses are sustainable businesses. Because if you figure out a profit line, then you have to continuously, just work towards improving. So बहुत मुश्किल होता है कि आप उसको, if you get to a profitable level, then you will slide down the profitability path, because you will continuously figure out something innovative to sustain that profits or grow the profits.
अच्छा, बट अभी आपको लगता है इंडिया अब compete कर पाएगा चाइना के साथ going forward? अभी manufacturing उतना we are ready?
We are getting there. I would not say that we are there, because China is far ahead in terms of automation, in terms of productivity, in terms of efficiency, in terms of thinking scale. I think in India there's a little bit of red tape, but we are slowly understanding that it's important to get rid of the red tape and to become more efficient and think about automation and think about efficiency. But we are getting there. I think it'll take about another 3 to 4 years. And we will be on that explosive growth path, but we are getting there for sure.
Okay. So अभी आपका ऑफ बिजनेस का फोकस मैंने देखा है मल्टीपल बिजनेसेस में है. नाउ यू आर एंटरिंग, यू हैव एंटर्ड एग्रीकल्चर ऑल्सो एंड इन द लोन स्पेस ऑल्सो. सो गोइंग फॉरवर्ड अभी कहाँ पर आप ग्रो करने का?
देखिए, हमारा 2 बिजनेसेस मोटा मोटी स्प्लिट हैं. एक है हमारा कॉमर्स बिजनेस, एक है हमारा फाइनेंसिंग बिजनेस. नाउ द फाइनेंसिंग बिजनेस फंड्स SMEs.
अच्छा.
तो SMEs को जो वर्किंग कैपिटल चाहिए होता है, तो वी गिव देम वर्किंग कैपिटल टू परचेज रॉ मटेरियल्स. हमारा जो कॉमर्स बिजनेस है, दैट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सप्लाइंग रॉ मटेरियल्स टू द SMEs in 4 major sectors: metals, chemicals, food processing, and apparels.
Okay.
So those are the 4 major businesses. And along with supplying raw materials, so there is a part of the business which does private labeling also and contract manufacturing. So part of the business is supplying raw materials, part of the business is manufacturing those materials for the SMEs or for the other corporations.
Wow. And agriculture side में अभी आप क्या कर रहे हैं?
हम our focus is a lot on food processing and exports.
Okay.
Yes, I think India is a major hub जहाँ पे indigenously काफी ज़्यादा crops उगती हैं, which you can process and export and add a lot of value.
अच्छा, उसकी डिमांड अब बढ़ रही है यहाँ से?
100%. I think India is a great place to grow because of favorable climates, because of I would say a lot of variety of crops, a lot of spices, etc. So we're getting into spaces where a lot of export-oriented items would be there, and we are focusing a lot on exports from India.
Okay. So tell me, आपने बिजनेस के अंदर कौन सा ऐसा रिस्की डिसीजन लिया था जो उस टाइम लग रहा था कि यार ये तो बड़ा रिस्की है, मतलब it can go either ways,
हाँ.
but it moved in your favor. And क्या mindset रहा होगा उस time?
I think every single day the decisions that we take are there is a probability attached to whether they will work or not. I think that's part of life. But one major decision that we took was during demonetization to actually it was two major decisions. One during demonetization to only concentrate on infrastructure contractors because I think they would survive the demonetization hit rather than the real estate players. So only concentrate on that. So we were not sure whether infrastructure would also work out, but it did work in our favor. And second was during COVID when everyone was holding back. I think we pressed the accelerator into doubling our business.
Oh.
So we invested a lot more during COVID than any other years. I think that worked out. It could have gone either ways.
Yeah.
If COVID had elongated for another couple of years, then it would have turned out to be very different. But it just worked out in our favor.
And I think infrastructure का push आप लोगों ने जब शिफ्ट किया तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी बहुत पुश था इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे.
It still is now.
Yeah.
I mean, we are making 200 kilometers of roads every day.
बट मैं बस सोचने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि यू हैड जस्ट स्टार्टेड बिजनेस. आई थिंक 2015 यू स्टार्टेड.
सितंबर, यस. एंड डिमोनेटाइजेशन एक साल के बाद आ गया.
एक साल के बाद ही डिमोनेटाइजेशन आ गया था. बट उस टाइम किसी को नहीं पता था कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे इतना पुश आने वाला है.
करेक्ट.
एंड टुडे वी सी सच ग्रेट हाईवेज. मैं कल गया था दिल्ली मुंबई एक्सप्रेसवे पे.
इट्स ब्रिलियंट,
अमेजिंग. एंड 120 की स्पीड पे आप गाड़ी को लेके जाओ एंड इट इज अमेजिंग.
यस, एब्सोल्युटली.
So that worked out really good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of raw material on that particular highway was supplied by us.
अच्छा.
Yes.
Amazing. And कोई एक ऐसा decision जो आपने लिया and it didn't work out?
No, there were again many decisions that did not work out. I think one of the decisions was to sell furniture.
Oh.
So we thought that we will get furniture from China and try and sell it over here. But it turned out that furniture was a market which did not operate in the white.
Oh.
So there was a lot of black component in the furniture space. So we stayed away from that.
Achha.
Yeah. So that did not work out. We tried it, and there was also a B2C element of construction that we wanted to do to sell to individual homeowners, to smaller contractors. I think there we realized very quickly that the cost of customer acquisition was very high, and the long-term value was not there because repeatability बहुत कम थी. So I think that did not work out. So a lot of such decisions did not work out ultimately. But that's part of business and life.
And I think furniture में क्या होता है बहुत जल्दी trends भी change हो जाते हैं, fashion change हो जाता है.
No, actually that's a good thing. No, if trends are changing for companies that are able to adapt to changing trends, that's actually a good thing. So we consider that as a moat.
Achha.
So that's not a bad thing. But I think what was a bad thing is that because we wanted to operate a very clean business. I think for us doing anything in black was a strict no-no.
अच्छा.
So I think that's why we stayed away from that.
Okay. मेरे पॉडकास्ट पे हम मिस्टर नीरव जैन को लेकर आए थे. He is a co-founder in a rental furniture business called City Furnish.
Right.
तो उन्होंने इसका बहुत फ़ायदा उठाया. कोविड के बाद उन्होंने अपना बिजनेस स्केल अप किया क्योंकि दे रेंट आउट फर्नीचर.
करेक्ट.
तो आई थिंक फर्नीचर मार्केट में भी बहुत नई चीज़ें अभी लोग ट्राई कर रहे हैं.
करेक्ट.
So tell me one thing. Startups अभी जितने आ रहे हैं, you feel that there is one thing that startups are doing wrong. मतलब एक ऐसा कोई चीज़ आपने नोटिस करी हो कि स्टार्टअप्स बहुत गलत कर रहे हैं और उनको इसको चेंज करना चाहिए?
I think just relying on getting external funding to sustain your business, I think that's not sustainable in my opinion. I think if that's the case, then you should figure out a more sustainable business model where you can be self-sustaining, and you have to have an eye on unit economics and not just hyper growth. Right? Unit economics आपके दिमाग में बड़े clear होने चाहिए and path to profitability बड़ी clear होनी चाहिए कि यार अगर ये होगा तो then I'll be profitable. Has to be extremely clear in your mind. You can't just figure it out on the way and you hope to achieve that because वो कभी होता नहीं है.
बट वो कूल नहीं है ना. मतलब फंड रेजिंग तो आजकल कूल हुआ है with Shark Tank and with all these VCs.
See, money you should raise to hyper grow.
Okay.
Assuming that you've figured out unit economics and you've figured out a basic business model and a PMF. So then raising a lot of money to hyper grow, maintaining those unit economics is important. नहीं तो क्या होगा कि आप अगर पैसे आ गए तो देन यू बिकम अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ यू बिकम कंप्लेसेंट. आई थिंक दैट स्टार्टअप शुड अवॉइड.
वो लोगों को लगता है कि अब तो पैसा आ गया, अब इसको बर्न करना भी जरूरी है.
बर्न नहीं, मतलब इन्वेस्ट करना जरूरी है, सो दे बी फील कंपेल्ड. So you shouldn't feel compelled. You should only put money when the return expectation is very clear in your mind.
सो मैं पढ़ रहा था कि इस साल आप भी प्लान कर रहे हो अपना आईपीओ लेके आने के लिए. आईपीओ की जर्नी कितनी आसान है, कितनी मुश्किल है, कितना टाइम लगता है आईपीओ के पूरी प्रिपरेशन करने के लिए?
I think private market journey is slightly easier than public market journey, I would say,
अच्छा.
because you have to have a completely different mindset. See, in the private market, you can think of uh, you can have expansive goals, etc., etc. You can have unrealistic goals, but in the public markets, you need to be more deterministic.
Okay.
You have to say one thing and stick to it. In the private market, you can say that, listen, we'll try and achieve 100% year-on-year growth. अगर 80% हो जाती है, it's fine.
Yeah.
या 120% हो जाती है, great. But in the public markets, if you say we'll achieve 30% growth and you end up doing 50% or you end up doing 15%, the markets will be terrible. Right? Because then you don't have predictability over what you're doing. You don't have consistent cash flows, or you don't have predictability about your business model. So I think it's important to be more deterministic in the public markets.
Okay. तो आप लोग प्लान कर रहे हो अब आईपीओ के लिए जाने के लिए?
Yes, we're thinking about it. So let's see how the market reacts, and then we'll take the decision accordingly.
अभी तो स्टॉक मार्केट आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर तक तो आईपीओस के लिए काफी कंड्यूसिव थी.
Yes.
बट इस साल थोड़ा सा अभी.
Yeah, so we'll wait and watch. We'll see the market conditions, and we'll continue to improve ourselves. I think that's more important than seeing the market conditions. So we'll continue to improve our metrics. We'll continue to be even more profitable. I think that's more important than anything else.
बट अभी बहुत सारे आईपीओस आई थिंक लाइनअप में हैं, हम सुनते रहते हैं. काफ़ी बड़े बड़े भी, ओयो जैसे भी अभी आईपीओस आने वाले हैं. तो अभी आपको लग रहा है 2025 स्टॉक मार्केट के लिए कैसा जाने वाला है?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great year in my opinion. I think there are a few issues that the world is grappling with, such as the tariffs and a little bit of what is happening in Japan and so on and so forth. But apart from that, I think the fundamentals remain okay. And I think once we get past this, I think India as well as the other countries are set for strong growth. So I don't see any particular issues. I think the world will adjust to whatever is happening very quickly.
ट्रम्प ऐसे क्या बड़े बड़े डिसीजंस दे रहा है जिसकी वजह से स्टॉक मार्केट इतना आई वुड से घबरा रही है अभी?
I think what Trump is trying to do is trying to make America quote unquote Atmanirbhar.
अच्छा.
Right? So he's basically trying to say that, listen, I want everything to be manufactured in America so that we don't have to depend on other countries. Right now, the manufacturing in America is very little. What gets manufactured? Let's say weapons get manufactured in America. Your aircrafts get manufactured in America. It's a big automobile manufacturing that happens over there. But apart from that, a little bit of agriculture gets done. A little bit of soya, a little bit of corn, almonds, etc. are manufactured over there. But nothing else is really manufactured over there. So I think what he's trying to do is get manufacturing back into America. So he's okay to sacrifice short-term gains for that. I think which is okay. But India as an economy, I think is self-sustaining. So I don't think it's going to be a huge jolt for us. Although we do 77 billion, if I'm not wrong, exports to the US. 77 billion exports to the US. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be that much of a jolt as it's going to be for the other countries who are entirely dependent on the US. But India as a market is not entirely dependent on the US. India is self-sustained in terms of its own consumption. We got 1.4, 1.5 billion people. That's our power, I would say. That's not a liability. That's actually our strength. So it's a self-sustaining economy. So even if the exports to the US stop, I think the world is not going to come crashing down. We'll figure out a way.
I think US अभी तक जो है सिर्फ इनोवेशन पे काम करता था.
Now they want manufacturing also to move over there, which is fair.
But वो रातों रात तो नहीं हो सकता.
हाँ, but वो नहीं हो सकता है. And हमारा देश और बाकी देश भी बहुत जल्दी एडजस्ट कर जाएंगे. हम अंडर एस्टिमेट करें कितनी जल्दी एडजस्टमेंट्स हो जाएंगी. तो स्टॉक मार्केट विल बी बैक ऑन इट्स नॉर्मल ग्रोथ पाथ. इतना कोई मैसिव जोल्ट नहीं आने वाला है, स्पेशली टू द इंडियन स्टॉक मार्केट.
मे बी इट्स अ स्मॉल हर्डल जो भी हम देख रहे हैं.
हाँ.
एंड ट्रम्प इवेंचुअली मतलब उनका भी राइट है, जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बोला कि हमें आत्मनिर्भर होना है।
100%. I think what he's trying to do is not wrong.
या
Maybe some of the ways that he's trying to achieve may be wrong, but what he's trying to do ultimately is not really wrong, I would say.
ऑल्सो आई वॉज रीडिंग दैट वेरी रिसेंटली आप लोगों ने ईसॉप्स के भी रिडेम्पशन करे थे अपने स्टाफ के लिए, एंड बहुत न्यूज़ में आया था 100 करोड़ ईसॉप रिडेम्पशन। वो क्या होता है और उससे क्या फ़ायदा मिलता
See,
है?
ultimately, I mean, everyone who's working for a startup, they get shares in the form of ESOPs, right?
ओके
So we did a liquidity event for them where they were able to get some wealth by redeeming the ESOPs or by exercising the ESOPs and
अच्छा
selling into the market. So I think that's equally important. I think it's important for them to see a little bit of wealth coming in, so that uh, they have
ड्राइव।
that drive. I would say, yeah, work gives them the drive, but I think it's important for them to also make a little bit of money.
या तो आई थिंक स्टार्टअप लोग ज्वाइन ही इसीलिए करते हैं कि सैलरी तो
Yeah,
मिलेगी,
there's a risk reward ratio, right?
Yeah.
So risk is very high, and so is the reward. So should be the reward.
सो हमारा जो ये पॉडकास्ट है, हम रियल एस्टेट सेंट्रिक इस पॉडकास्ट को रन करते हैं, तो आई वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज रियल एस्टेट इन योर माइंड। मतलब आप रियल एस्टेट के बारे में क्या सोचते हो, कैसे सोचते हो?
For me, real estate is divided into two parts. One, I believe real estate is just an asset class, like
Okay.
gold, like stock market, like FD, or any other debt instrument.
अच्छा
It's just an asset class, right? Where a little bit of diversification is important. Second, I think the most important thing is that I believe in that जो आपका primary residence है वो owned होना चाहिए,
ओके
right? I strongly believe in that. One primary residence, so I don't have too many properties in my name except for my primary residence. And the reason is that I think many diversification enough है in real estate, and I would view it like कि primary residence आपका अपना होना चाहिए और बाकी सब कुछ आपको एक ओवरऑल पोर्टफोलियो में जो आपको ठीक लग रहा है डाइवर्सिफिकेशन में, उसमें रियल एस्टेट कंपोनेंट होना चाहिए,
ओके
राइट? दैट्स हाउ आई व्यू रियल एस्टेट. प्राइमरी रेजिडेंस के अलावा आपको यू शुड ट्रीट रियल एस्टेट एज जस्ट अनदर एसेट क्लास, नॉट एज अ मटीरियलिस्टिक थिंग कि मेरे पास 5 प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, मेरे पास 10 प्रॉपर्टीज हैं. I think that's my mindset. It may be very different. The older mindset was like हमारे पास 10 प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, हमारे पास 15 प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, but to me it's just another asset class.
सी यू कम फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग बैकग्राउंड, आपके पास आई थिंक बहुत सारी चॉइसेस हैं, बट इंडियन टिपिकल माइंडसेट अगर हम देखें तो वो आज भी यही है कि
प्रॉपर्टी होनी चाहिए, प्रॉपर्टी खरीदो, प्रॉपर्टी खरीदो. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people need to realize that ठीक है, प्रॉपर्टी खरीदने से the appreciation would be there, but stock market, if it's giving you a consistent 12% IRR, and property market on an average would give you a 8 to 10%, so then investing in stock market may be better. Okay. So they see the stock market going up and down, and that's why they're not very convinced. But over a period of, let's say, last 10 years, Nifty would have given you an IRR of close to about 11 to 12%. Gold would have given you a slightly lower IRR, but real estate would have given you a 8 to 10%.
Okay.
Right? So I think one should view real estate as just another asset class, not something to get attached by. So, but real estate in my mind should have a little bit more premium, because a little bit more risk expectation, because illiquid होता है.
अच्छा
आप ऐसा नहीं कि आज सोचो बेच सकते हो तो कल बेच दोगे. आई थिंक यू आर ट्राइंग टू एनेबल समथिंग लाइक दैट, बट जितना वो लिक्विड होगा उसका रिस्क प्रीमियमनेस उतना कम होता रहेगा. सो पीपल वुड वांट टू बाय रियल एस्टेट, बट राइट नाउ देयर हैज टू बी illiquidity premium attached to it.
बट एक चीज़ बताओ, अगर आज आपके पास 5 करोड़ स्पेयर पड़े हो, बिल्कुल स्पेयर पड़े हैं, और आपको उनको इन्वेस्ट करना है, would you invest in stock market or would you invest in real estate?
Again, it's going to be a combination, right? So I would right now consider stock market, gold, as well as some debt instruments. So I would diversify it, right? So I would not put all my money in one asset class.
But gold तो इस समय अपने all time high पे
But it
चल
doesn't
रहा है.
matter. I mean, right now it's flight to equality. So ultimately, what is happening is that gold is a safe haven at the moment, because inflation is going to be there. Whenever inflation rises, so people start investing in gold.
Okay.
So it's an inflation hedge in some respect. Plus, it's when the stock market tanks, gold you would see normally rising.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what happened during COVID as well. So I would say there has to be again a balance, right, of where you invest.
तो वो 5 करोड़ आप रियल एस्टेट के अलावा बाकी 3 जगह डाइवर्सिफाई
So I would say I would pick pockets of real estate and then invest.
Okay.
Right. So I would not just say one area which is, you know, very heated. I would pick very strong pockets, do research कि यार यहाँ पे growth आने वाली है, यहाँ पे infrastructure आने वाला है आसपास in the next 4-5 years, and then invest over there to get abnormal returns, rather than saying that yeah, something is already priced very high. Just because it's priced very high, the expectation is to go higher, much higher. That may not be the strategy, in my opinion.
So you would go for tier 2, tier 3 or tier 1?
Well, it can also be Gurgaon, but outskirts of Gurgaon.
Okay.
Right, where
upcoming areas.
Yeah, upcoming areas. Why not? Yeah, where it's rapidly expanding. So I would pick those pockets where I can see a lot of growth happening.
And tell me, gold अभी जैसे all time high पे चल रहा है, उसके पीछे अभी कोई रीजन नहीं है?
नहीं, बिल्कुल रीजन है, 100% रीजन है. Because the stock market right now is very volatile, so people want to park their money somewhere. I think, and it's an inflation hedge.
Okay.
Right? So definitely reason है gold and silver के rise होने का.
Also tell me your views about crypto.
It's a very strange asset class because it was brought in to be again an inflation hedge, one, a stock market hedge, and a decentralized currency. So it should normally behave as gold, but it's behaving in a very weird manner because of the central government's strange policies.
Yeah.
Right? So some central governments are completely against it. They tax it exorbitantly, like Indian government taxes it at 30%, but आपको loss harvesting करने नहीं देता Indian government. So if you make losses, you're not able to set off the losses against the gains. I may be wrong, but this is what I know.
Yeah.
US government is pro that. They want to build a reserve around it, but again, the policies are not very clear. So crypto is a very volatile asset class. So I think it is something where I would not say it's a regular asset class where you're looking for only 12-14% returns. It's either something that is going to give 100% returns or it's going to go down to zero. So you have to be very careful. It's a very volatile asset class. Very volatile. It's extremely volatile. It's more volatile than equities for sure.
Yeah.
And so one should not invest in it if they don't understand the risks associated with it. Just because of FOMO. FOMO की वजह से नहीं करना चाहिए. I think थोड़ा अंदर घुसना चाहिए और थोड़ा सा research करनी चाहिए before investing in crypto. I think it's a very difficult asset class. Very difficult. It's not as simple as equities or debt.
I think probably 1% people understand.
Not even 1%. No. 0.0001% people understand. The remaining 1 minus that number, वो बस FOMO की वजह से करते हैं.
And they are the ones who are making money.
Well, you don't. Only the 0.00001. जो आप कहते हो crypto millionaires वगैरह, there are many crypto bankrupt people as well. जिन्होंने डाल दिए and they've lost tons of money. They're in debt. You don't know about those, right? Do you? No, you don't. Because वो failures कभी आते नहीं है सामने. Only the success comes and उसकी वजह से FOMO होने लग जाता है कि यार हम क्यों नहीं, अगर वो कर सकते हैं तो.
बट अभी गुड़गांव जैसी मार्केट में अगर हम रियल एस्टेट की बात करें तो यहाँ पर भी मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है थोड़ा थोड़ा फोमो यहाँ पर भी चल रहा है. प्राइसेस जिस हिसाब से बढ़ गए हैं.
हाँ, बट गुड़गांव एज अ आई मीन आई फाइंड इट मच ईजियर टू लिव इन देन लंडन, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद यू.
अच्छा.
मेरे को तो बहुत ही पसंद है गुड़गांव, एंड इवन द आउटस्कर्ट्स एरियाज दैट आर बीइंग डेवलप्ड, they are brilliant. They are very beautiful. I think the road infrastructure is getting better and better. The connectivity is getting better and better. The overall infra is becoming brilliant. So I think there's no reason for people to continue living elsewhere, and they want to move to Gurgaon because it gives you that space. It gives you the openness. It gives you the greenery, and general infrastructure is pretty decent, I would say.
But you are saying you would rather live in Gurgaon than London?
Yes, 100%.
Is that for your business? Yeah.
Overall, I think even the lifestyle, etc. I prefer Gurgaon.
And what about your kids? बच्चों के future के लिए, would you still stay in Gurgaon?
Yeah, I think it's got great schools. It's got great play areas for the development of the child. I think it's pretty safe if you're in a gated community. So touch wood. So I would definitely want my child to grow up here.
ओके. जैसे आप अपने बिजनेस के लिए गोल सेटअप करते हो, आपका कोई ऐसा गोल है कि ये मेरा ड्रीम होम है, मुझे इस तरह का ड्रीम होम चाहिए होगा? वुड यू हैव समथिंग ऑन योर विजन बोर्ड?
सी इतना मैं अटैच होता नहीं हूँ रियल एस्टेट से, दैट्स द थिंग. आई जस्ट वांट अ प्राइमरी रेजिडेंस विच शुड बी वेरी कंफर्टेबल, विच शुड बी ग्रेट एनवायरनमेंट फॉर माई किड टू ग्रो अप इन. But itna I'm not attached to real estate that it should be this fancy or it should be this luxurious, etc., etc. It should be a great place. It should be very comfortable. I think that's my mindset.
बट सारे अभी सक्सेसफुल स्टार्टअप फाउंडर सब कैमिलियस की तरफ जा रहे हैं, आपका प्लान है कैमिलियस
No,
जाने
so
का?
I have no such aspiration or I have no such dreams. As I said, I don't get attached to real estate.
हाँ,
I think real estate is just one primary residence should be there. It should be a great environment,
yeah.
and it should be comfortable. I think other than that, there is no such aspiration कि मेरा 2000 गज का बंगला हो, मेरा इतने लोग काम कर रहे हो वहाँ पे, इतने कमरे हो, या फिर जिम हो अंदर. ये सब मेरा एस्पिरेशन है नहीं.
Yeah.
आई थिंक आई जस्ट वांट अ कंफर्टेबल प्लेस एंड उसमें बस थोड़ी फैसिलिटीज हो जहाँ पे मैं रह रहा हूँ, लाइक सम स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटीज, सम क्लब फैसिलिटीज, एंड आई एम ओके.
बट कोई सी फेसिंग विला हो या पहाड़ के ऊपर कोई
As I
सेकंड
said,
होम
I
हो?
have no such aspirations at all. अगर वो चाहिए होगा तो I'll just go to a hotel because ultimately आप 2-4 दिन से ज़्यादा वहाँ रह भी नहीं पाओगे. So for me again no such aspiration, to be very honest.
Would you invest 100 crores in a real estate home?
So it depends on the kind of wealth that I have. If it's a percentage of that, maybe not. But right now the answer is no. The answer is no.
क्योंकि अभी हर कोई यही पूछ रहा है, 100 करोड़ का अब नए प्रोजेक्ट्स लॉन्च कर रहा है DLF.
So for me it's everything is about risk return.
Okay. You look at it from numbers perspective.
From a numbers perspective, solely from a numbers perspective.
No emotions attached.
नहीं, I don't view that except for my primary residence.
So एक अभी क्विक रैपिड फायर करते हैं. I'll throw questions at you or one word immediate answers. Working in India or abroad?
India.
Job or business?
Business.
Buy home or rent?
By primary residence.
Stock market or real estate?
Stock market.
Who inspires you the most?
I think right now my co-founder Ashish, because the way he works and the way he latches on to things in different ways and still gets time to do other things.
Yeah.
So I think he's an inspiration for me.
Someone who motivates you every day?
Someone who motivates me every day, I think there are multiple people. As I said, my co-founders, they motivate me every single day. And just people who are very persistent with what they're doing. I think everyone who is very persistent and who's gone through very difficult times and then still managed to come up ahead, I think those people.
Excellent. One wildest thing that you have spent money on?
When I was in London, I had materialistic aspirations. तो मैंने गाड़ी खरीदी थी, convertible sports car. That's it. So उसके अलावा तो I don't think ऐसा कोई मेरा aspiration है.
If you have an opportunity to trade lives for 24 hours, कौन बंदा होगा वो 24 घंटे के लिए जिसके साथ आप अपनी लाइफ ट्रेड
नहीं, not really. I'm very happy and comfortable in my life, so I would not want to switch with anyone else.
Your favorite cricketer?
Favorite cricketer, I think Virat Kohli. Yeah.
One thing that you feel that being a billionaire
So
is...
I'm not. So I think I'll make that very clear.
I mean, one thing that if you become a billionaire, one thing that you think will suck कि यार ये क्या है, billionaire होने के साथ साथ ये भी मिलता है.
नहीं, I think see whenever you move towards more wealth, etc., they come with a lot of challenges and stress and hard work that you have to take into account. So nothing in life comes easy.
Being a founder, one thing which is most difficult being a founder, and आप दूसरों को बोलोगे कि यार ये अगर आप if you're ready for this,
taking calls at 3 a.m. in the night. If you're ready for it, do it. Otherwise
3 a.m. in the night.
Yeah, you have to take calls. कभी भी calls आ सकती हैं कि कुछ problem हो गई है, क्या करें. And then you have to take instant decisions. You can't even delay the decisions for 2-3
hours.
2-3 days, 2-3 hours. नहीं कर सकते आप delay. You have to take instantaneous decisions.
One belief that you have which other maybe founders will disagree about business.
I think business में आपके सारे metrics पे control होना चाहिए. And ऐसा नहीं हो सकता सिर्फ growth metric पे control हो, profitability metrics पे control ना हो, because it's about cash flow management, it's about expense management, it's about working capital from the banks, it's about debtor reconciliation, debtor
Wow.
collections, it's about creditor management, it's about inventory management, it's about everything. Every metric has to be under control. I think you can't just say that ये मैं अगले महीने संभालूंगा, आज ये संभाल लेता हूँ, and so on and so forth. Every metric has to be under control and under your eyes.
एंड मतलब ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा ओवरवेलमिंग मुझे सुन के ही लग रहा है। आप
It
मैनेज
is, and
कैसे
we
करते
manage, yeah, close to about 10-12 businesses like that
हो?
within
वाह।
our business. Yeah.
एंड अगर आज आपको स्क्रैच से कुछ स्टार्ट करना हो, विच इंडस्ट्री वुड यू गेट इनटू?
So anything where there's a huge export potential,
ओके।
I think that's an industry I would target, where there's a little bit of manufacturing potential as well within India. I think that I would see as a growth potential, and something related to automation, etc.,
Yeah.
where I can bring about some value.
नाउ वी हैव कम टू अ सेक्शन जिसको हम बोलते हैं टाइम मशीन। ये आपके लिए एक प्रॉप है जिसमें से आपको देखना है, ये मैजिकल प्रॉप है, इसमें आपको ना 2050 दिखेगा। तो एक बारी आई वांट कि आप इसमें से देखो और मेरे को बताओ कि 2050 में आपको क्या दिख रहा है। आ रहा नज़र है मैजिकल?
बिल्कुल। So 2050, I think I would want India to be the top 2 economies,
ओके।
and
बन गई या नहीं बनी? अभी
बन गई है,
बन गई
टॉप
है,
2 में आ गई है,
टॉप 2 में आ गई है।
एंड ऑफ बिजनेस जो है, इंडिया का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग बैरोमीटर बन गया है।
वाओ।
सो आई थिंक अगर असेस करना है कि इंडिया का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कहाँ जा रहा है, तो ऑफ बिजनेस इज की ग्रोथ पे काफी निर्भर है वो नंबर। सो वी बिकम द बैरोमीटर।
एंड और आपको क्या दिख रहा है इसमें? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंडिया का कैसा हो गया है? गुड़गांव कैसा दिख रहा है?
I think Gurgaon has become tremendously developed, where there are a lot of drones and flying cars, etc., etc. I think very difficult to predict, but we as a economy have become very tech dependent, tech oriented, and
Very good.
very efficient
अच्छा।
and very automation driven. I think that's what I can see as a vision.
We are moving towards the developed economies.
Yes, so we are moving towards there, but we become very efficient in terms of technology, and we are developing in-house technology rather than importing it from elsewhere.
और रोड्स का क्या हाल होगा गुड़गांव में?
Roads, I think, have become wider, become better, and less traffic because public infrastructure is amazing.
वेरी गुड। तो ये सब हो जाएगा 25 साल में?
I think so.
क्योंकि पता है क्या है, आप जो देख सकते हो ना वो हमें नहीं दिखता। बीइंग अ यंग, आई वुड से, एंटरप्रेन्योर, आपको जितना ब्रॉड विजन दिखता है वो हम चाहते हैं कि हमारी ऑडियंस तक भी पहुंचे, क्योंकि हम लोग शायद उतना अभी नहीं देख पाते।
नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं है। आई थिंक हमें थोड़ा सा बस ज़्यादा इंडस्ट्रीज का एक्सपीरियंस है। आई थिंक इसकी वजह से थोड़ा हमारा पर्सपेक्टिव ब्रॉडन है। दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस, बट आई थिंक वी आर हेडेड देयर. We just need to move in the right direction and not get caught up in small worldly things, but think about the long term vision, जहाँ पे technology and infrastructure play a huge role, and not get caught up in small things that happen around.
आजकल AI का बहुत सुनने में आ रहा है। AI में would you want to spend your time, spend your energy on AI?
Yeah, I do that quite a bit
already.
Yes,
For your
our
existing businesses.
Yes.
Okay.
We do that for existing businesses, how to engage with the clients more using AI, using IoT plus AI in our existing businesses.
Wow.
Like we got an Apparel business which uses IoT devices plus AI to detect faults within the fabrics and so on and so forth. So we use a lot there. In our food processing also, we are trying to incorporate some machines which detect faulty crops, faulty or so that we provide the customers with the best of the lot.
वाह, तो वो सब ऑलरेडी आप लोग कर ही रहे हो, एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड आई थिंक इसको ग्रो ही होना है।
करेक्ट।
आज अगर कोई फाउंडर है जो स्टार्ट कर रहा है, उसके पास 1 करोड़ है फॉर एग्जांपल,
राइट,
हाउ डज ही गेट टू 100 करोड़ बिजनेस?
सबसे पहले तो 6 महीने आप जाके सिर्फ रिसर्च करो।
Okay.
सिर्फ क्लाइंट से मिलो, सिर्फ सप्लायर से मिलो, सिर्फ मार्केट में गैप्स आइडेंटिफाई करो. गैप्स आइडेंटिफाई हो गए तो स्टार्ट स्लोली अचीव PMF एंड देन हाइपर स्केल.
Okay. This is the only way.
Well, not the only way. This is what I would do.
Tell me the best piece of advice you have ever received from a mentor or from any of your...
Go into the details. Next level of detail. उससे वैल्यू निकल के आती है.
Okay. और ये आपने कहाँ सीखा?
ये within the company.
Oh,
Yeah.
after business.
After business, yeah.
मैंने देखा जो co-founders होते हैं वो ऊपर के मेट्रिक पे फोकस करते
नहीं,
रहते हैं.
I think डिटेल के अंदर डिटेल से आपकी वैल्यू जनरेट होगी. डोंट लीव मनी ऑन द टेबल बिकॉज यू डोंट गो इनटू डिटेल के अंदर डिटेल. आई थिंक वो इम्पोर्टेंट है.
I also heard one of my uncles say that बंदा जितना बड़ा होता जाता है, he meant के पैसे वाइज जितना बड़ा होता जाता है उसके लॉसेस भी उधर उतने बढ़ते जाते हैं. In the sense there are so many things that he neglects
And
and
sacrifice.
he loses money. एक तरफ से पैसा बन रहा है बट एक तरफ से पैसा छोटा पैसा लूज भी हो रहा है.
करेक्ट.
You wouldn't agree to that?
If you have eye on the ball and you balance things out, then probably not. Then
और
you can
अगर
control
आप
everything.
और अगर आप डिटेल में डिटेल ढूंढोगे तो वो नहीं होगा.
Probably not.
अगर आप हाई लेवल देखोगे तो
हो
probably
सकता है.
you are losing money somewhere also.
Correct.
One last piece of advice you want to give young entrepreneurs who want to be like you?
No, I think young entrepreneurs just need to go out there in the market and not sit in their office or their study to start building a business. I think just be out there and meet as many people as possible. The insights that you'll generate will be tremendous.
लोगों को ऐसे लगता है कि उनकी नॉलेज से वो कुछ बिल्ड करें.
नहीं, उनकी नॉलेज शुड बी सप्लीमेंटेड एंड कॉम्प्लीमेंटेड बाय नॉलेज फ्रॉम आउटसाइड.
एक रियल प्रॉब्लम पहले ढूंढो और फिर उसको इंसाइट निकालो और फिर उसको सॉल्व करो.
करेक्ट.
थैंक यू नितिन जी, अमेजिंग. बहुत मज़ा आया मेरे को एंड आई थिंक we live very close by. We should meet very often.
Absolutely, sir. And thank you so much for inviting me to your family. And you built a wonderful team and you're doing very good work. Let me put it this way. And more power to Real Better.